name is David, and I'd like to welcome you to another multimedia training. Today, I'm going to be taking you through a training that will show you how to publish your sermons on iTunes as a podcast. And the advantage of having your sermons on iTunes as a podcast is that it can be downloaded by people that love to listen to your message. It can be downloaded on iPods, iPhones, iPads, and any other multimedia players or systems you might have. So it's very important. And by having your sermons as podcast on iTunes gives you a wider range of audience, because millions of people over the world do use iTunes. So what I'm going to show you first is I'm going to show you my own podcast on iTunes. So I just bring up the screen and I go to iTunes Store. So just bear with me 1 minute while I bring up my own and show you my podcast on iTunes. So let's just enlarge the screen here. Okay, so that's the iTunes Store. So we're looking for podcast. So click on podcast. Okay, so wait for that to open. And then while that is going on, I'll type in my name. So that's David. Okay, so you press enter, and that should bring up a list. Okay, so here we are. So these are my sermons on sermon.net, which I'm going to show you later on. So these are my sermons from the Hour of Truth. This is the prophetic word, and also some of the wisdom audiobooks I've been doing lately. So here it says podcast episodes. So I've got 29 podcasts on iTunes now. So we click on that to see the whole list. See? So all these messages here, sermons, audiobooks that you see here, all of these ones are some of my messages. So like I said, some of them, the prophetic word, which I do weekly, and also the wisdom audiobooks. So they're all in here. So I'm going to show you how you can get your messages all here on iTunes. So you can see it says all podcast episodes for David Odenaya. So it's quite easy, so people can type in your name into the iTunes and bring up your sermons. Okay, so I'm going to close this now. And what I want to show you now is show you how to set up a sermon.net account. So this is what you need. So this is my account on sermon.net. It says called the Word of Truth Ministries. Okay. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you, see this title here, you have to be very sure what title you want to give to your page, because I've got the Word of Truth here. When people type in my name, the heading they're going to get, for my podcast, it's going to be the Word of Truth Ministry. So before you give a name, think about what name you want to give to your podcast. So if it's the name of your ministry you want to use, or if it's your own name, maybe for example David Odenaya Ministries, which I could do, or the Living Waters Ministries, or Manna from Heaven. So think carefully, think about the title you want to have, because this is what's going to appear in iTunes. So now setting up an account. So this is how it looks here, okay? So you've got here where it says login. So you click into login, and it will come up with a page. So for example, it says login. Okay, now so login here allows you to sign up. So if you've not signed up, this is where you can sign up as sign up to have a sermon.net account. Also, the good thing about this, it also allows you to use your Facebook to sign in. So if you've got a Facebook account, I'll advise that you use your Facebook to sign in, because that will make it easy. So you can easily connect your Facebook to your sermon.net. Okay, so I already got mine. So you sign in here, And then once you get in, what you need to do, so I'm going to show you. Let me just minimize that and bring up my own account I've already signed into. So I signed in using Safari. So here I am in my own page on salmon.net. So here, so once you've signed up, it will give you this option. So you need to click on Studio, and it is in Studio you get to set up your messages. Okay, here it's asking me to, maybe because I've signed out for a little while, so I'm going to sign back in now. Just watch me as I sign into my account. Gmail.com. Okay, logging in. Okay, what's going on here? Let's see. Okay, you know what? I'll go back to this page. I don't know why it's not letting me in. Okay, my channel. Okay, I try one more time. Sometimes this does happen, and it can be a little bit frustrating sometimes. So let's see. Get back in. Click on login. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to log out and close this one and try that. Net. Just waiting for it to load up. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to try it one more time. Login. Aha. So see what comes up. So it says login. So I'm going to log in through here. So pull in my address. Sometimes you have to be very patient with pages like this. Okay, so you are. So I'm pressing login, waiting for that to come. So see, I'm now in now. I'm into my account. Okay. So waiting for that to load up. And that's why you have to make sure that when you're doing something like this, make sure your computer is freed from any running program so that it can run fast. Okay. Anyway, I don't know why it's asking me for that, but I'll just skip that for a moment now. Okay. So in another lesson, we might look at how to set up your salmon.net account, but this is where you need to come into. Okay, so this is my own page. I've already set up my music and everything. I've got my sermons on there. So this is a list of all my sermons there. So what you want to do now is you need to get what is known as RSS feeder, because that's the link that you're going to submit in iTunes that will transfer your sermons from your salmon.net or any internet page that has a RSS field connected to any of your sermons. So I'll click on here and it shows all video and audio. I'll just say click on all because who knows, maybe you might have a video sermon that you have on some of these salmon.net pages. That's if you go for the pro. So you need to click on, let's click on that field and see what happens. So here we are. This is going to bring up the your RSS feed for your sermons on salmon.net. So just let's wait and see the list that comes up. And while that is loading up, notice up here, see, up here, that is your RSS feed address. That's the one you need to copy. Okay. So while that is loading up, okay, here we are. So this shows all the list of your sermons. See, this is the RSS feed for all your sermons on that website. You see, and this is how iTunes will pick them up. Because once you submit that address, iTunes is going to pick up all these messages. So what we do then, I'll minimize this. Okay, and then you now go to iTunes. So what you want to do is when you go back to podcast. So don't forget, I've already copied the RSS address for sermon.net for my own messages. So you make it says submit a podcast. So you click on that. Okay, so in this box it says podcast feed URL. And remember, this is my own feed, like I showed you before. Look at it. So this is the RSS feed. That's the URL address up here, which I showed you before. So we've already copied it. So what we do, come in here, paste it, and then you press continue. Now, the only reason why I'm not pressing continue now, because mine's already been submitted, so I don't need to resubmit it. So when you put it in this box here and press continue, you will get a message from iTunes to say that they're going to review the feed. And they will send you an email, if it's been allowed to, if they review and they think, yeah, it's good to go, then they will send you an email to now say that your feed is now being accepted. And roughly within 2 to 3 days, your messages should start to appear in iTunes. And what you definitely need to do then is, after about 3-4 days, depending if you've received a message from iTunes, type in your name in this box when you go to podcasts. And then, just like I did before, once you put your name in there, press enter. Press enter, and it should come up with your name. So once you see your name or whatever, the name or your message is in here, then you know that's been submitted. And the good thing is this, that once you've done it once, you won't need to do it again, because every message, for example, if I go back to my page now, in here I've got about 19 messages here now. So if I was to upload another message onto another sermon onto this page here, I won't need to go back and resubmit it. It automatically takes it into iTunes because the feed is already submitted. So whatever is connected to that feed, whatever sermons, they will keep loading and appearing in iTunes. And that's what you need to do. So after that is done, if you want to later on, for example, now these are my messages in here, my sermons, like I said, 29 of them. And the good thing is that from here, you could even share them on Facebook. You click on here on the left-hand side and it says, success, your birthright. So if you wanted to share that on Facebook, you can. I think there's a place, let's see. Let's see. It's either here or on the pages allows you to share. Okay, I'm going to show you something now. Let me go to Google. Okay, let's bring up Google. So google.com. Let's see. I'll just use this instead. What is going on with all these browsers today? Okay, here. So we need a new tab. Okay. So let's see if we can get Google up there. Google.com. And one thing I discovered at Google.com, when I type in my name, I'll show you something. I'll just type in Reverend David Odunaye. And I can see it's on the top. So iTunes, because iTunes is a very popular application, is being used by millions of people worldwide. When people type in your name, that's the first thing that comes up on the site. See, I've got all these sermons all my messages here on Google, but on the top of it is iTunes. So I think every minister that that preaches online should have their podcast in iTunes, because when people type your name into Google, this is what's happened. It comes right on top. So if I click on that, it will bring up it brings up my page with iTunes. See, that's me and my lovely wife, and it's showing, though it's showing 7 episodes here. Okay, and what you can do, view in iTunes. So see, people can actually see this on Google, and then if they got iTunes, all they need to do is just click on view in iTunes, and it comes up. You see, and this was, I was talking about titles before. You see, I had a title called Hour of Truth, and I also had another one called The Word of Faith Ministries. So that's the reason why all my messages are not appearing under this heading, because I've divided them into categories. But if you want them to be in one place, you can just give them one title or whatever you decide you want to do. So here I am on Google now, okay, and it's showing also in iTunes. So anyone looking for your podcast can just type in your name, and all your podcasts will come up. Okay, so let's go back to iTunes. Okay, so that is just the short of it. So the main thing you just need to do is just to find out how you can sign up to sermon.net, which is quite easy, like I showed you before, where you click on login. Make sure you have a Facebook address or have a Facebook page, and you can sign in with it. See, it says welcome back, Pastor David. So I don't want to sign in with that. So, but you can sign in with it. Let me just see if we can sign in with that. Okay, sign in with Facebook. I'll show you how that works. Okay, see, so there you are, logged in with your Facebook. So that's one way to do it. But the main thing, this one is just signing up as a listener, and that's why I don't normally use that. The one you want to be looking in is to log in directly from here, because as a contributor, see, listener, by using, see, it says here listener login. That means you only be able to log in and then listen to messages or sermons on there. But you want to be a contributor because you're going to put your own messages on this website. So you need to sign into this one, okay, like I did before. So just sign into that, okay, and then put your name, press submit, wait for it, and there you are, signed in. So, this was I was looking for before. So this is how your page will come up. So I've already got my messages here. So say, for example, you've already done the message, say the power of prayer. So put in the power of prayer. Power of prayer. Press next. And see, you have all the other details in there. And then you can just fill in the details. Now, maybe in another video later on, I will show you how to, I'll deal, in details on how to sign up to sermon.net and how to put your messages on there and what to fill into all these boxes here. But this video is mainly for those who probably have already set up a sermon.net account, and it's so easy, like I showed, how to copy your RSS feed, put it into iTunes, submit it, and wait for iTunes to get back to you. Or normally just give it about 3-4 days, go back into iTunes store, type in your name, press enter, and it should bring up all your sermons there in podcast. Okay, thank you very much for listening to the video. I hope you have been blessed by this video.